A solemn scene over the White House tonight. The flag flies half-mast as it mourns for the 38th president to call it home and the 39th to serve our country. A lifelong humanitarian who led a country by example and lived through his faith. That's how the nation is remembering former President Jimmy Carter, who died today at the age of 100. His death comes after spending over a year in hospice care and outliving his wife of 77 years, Rosalind. President Carter had passed away at his home in Plains, Georgia, surrounded by his family. At 100, he is the longest-lived president in history. Living U.S. president, past, present, and future have all given their condolences to the Carter family. Former President Barack Obama said in a statement that Carter taught the country how to live with grace and dignity. And President-elect Donald Trump said, "We all owe Carter a debt of gratitude." From the Virgin Island, President Joe Biden spoke in length about how Carter became a dear friend.
What I find extraordinary about Jimmy Carter, though, is that millions of people all around the world, all over the world, feel they lost a friend as well, even though they never met him. And that's because Jimmy Carter lived a life measured not by words, but by his deeds.
Current Iowa lawmakers are paying their respects to Carter as well. Governor Kim Reynolds said in part in a statement, President Carter never stopped living his faith through service. His belief in putting God's love into action has inspired generations of Americans. And Kevin and I are praying for his family during this difficult time. Iowa Senator Chuck Grassley took to X to express his sympathies to the Carter family, adding, "I had the honor of speaking at a conference he hosted in Atlanta in 2008 at his invitation. We were bit by a different political bug, but have much in common, including love of the Lord." That life lived and faith referenced by so many of Carter's colleagues tonight, demonstrated by Carter's decades-long work in disease prevention, promoting democracy abroad, and Habitat for Humanity. While his years in office were punctuated by surging inflation and international peacemaking, our sister station in D.C. takes us through these moments in the president's life and more.
James Earl Carter Jr. was born in Plains, Georgia in 1924, the son of a spirited small-town nurse and a larger-than-life farmer who ran a country store and agricultural warehouse. Jimmy Carter learned the benefits of hard work. When he graduated from Plains High School, Carter went to a community college before joining the U.S. Naval Academy, and 2 years later, he received a wartime appointment serving on Navy submarines around the world. Carter's heart was in his home state, and his love was in his hometown. In 1946, he married Rosalind Smith, a young woman who grew up just a few doors down from the Carter family. After serving in the Navy, Carter went back to Georgia and entered the world of politics. First, a victory in the state Senate, then a U.S. congressional race. He lost his first campaign for governor, but not the second time. In 1970, Carter was elected Georgia governor, and the next 4 years gave him a reputation as a new kind of Southern politician.
I say to you quite frankly that the time for racial discrimination is over.
A reputation that helped propel him into the Oval Office.
My name is Jimmy Carter, and I'm running for president.
1976, President-elect Jimmy Carter. He began with an ambitious agenda. President Carter attacked the energy crisis, fuel shortages, and rising prices. He created the Department of Energy, and in 1979 engineered the Camp David Accords, bringing peace to the Middle East, one of the greatest diplomatic achievements in U.S. history.
I was able finally to enmesh the two in a reasonable agreement that I think was very beneficial for both Israel and for Egypt.
Let us have 3 of us together.
Very good.
Later that year, though, the most profound crisis of Carter's presidency, when Iranian militants stormed the U.S. Embassy in Tehran, taking 52 Americans hostage.
We're using every available channel to protect the safety of the hostages and to secure their release.
The ordeal lasted 444 days, ending hours after newly elected President Ronald Reagan took the oath of office. After leaving office, Carter's dedication to public service and public good continued. Since 1989, the Carter Center has worked with 38 countries to monitor and ensure fairness in nearly 100 democratic elections. He's helped to eradicate disease and well into his 90s, humbly helped build homes for those in need with Habitat for Humanity.
We deal with the generic term of human rights. Under that umbrella, obviously, the right of people to live in peace and the right of people to have adequate health care and to have their children survive are inseparable basic rights of a human being.
President Jimmy Carter, a global icon, a champion for justice, a dedicated public servant who never forgot his roots.
Funeral plans are underway for the president. The Carter Center announced there will be public observances in Atlanta and D.C., followed by a private burial in Plains, Georgia.